everybody, Jeremy Weiss here with Weiss Tech Hockey, and in this video I'm going to show you a detailed product review on HockeyShot's Extreme Glide synthetic ice panels. Now this product is a lot of fun. I'm really excited about making this video. You may have already seen my previous video showing how to install these. If you haven't, you might want to watch that. Basically, it's a pretty straightforward process, but I walked you through the entire process in the last video. So go check that out if you haven't seen it yet. What I want to really focus on in this video is performance. So what do these look like? How do they compare to regular ice? What types of drills can you expect to be able to do on your own when you have these in your own home hockey training center? So I'm not going to take a huge amount of time on the intro. What I'm going to do is pull the camera off the tripod, briefly show you what the setup looks like so you can kind of get up to speed on that, and then, like I said, show you what these look like in action. Alright, so here's the basic setup. As you can see, we've got these in most of this side of the basement. So I've got the extreme shooting tarp, and then these are the panels. As you can see, I actually hooked up the extreme passing kit passer, the rebounder there. Works really well with this product, so that's nice. But what I've got is basically 8 by, what have I got? I've got 8 tiles. 8 by 4 tiles or panels down on this side of the basement, and then in the install video you probably saw how we ripped a few of these panels, basically cut them in half with the table saw, and so that we could put a get it a little bit closer to that edge, and then over here we took and laid two 4x8 panels, and then we had some leftover 4x4s. So I put the 2 4x4s here, and then again we ripped down one last 4x4. So we ripped that in half and used that as the end pieces down here. So we've got a pretty decent skating area. As you can see, I'm actually wearing my skates now. That's the sound you're hearing. Sounds like I'm wearing high heels, right? Not this time, guys. Okay, so a pretty decent skating area all the way down. And I've got the sports screen set up and the shooting tarp. So it's become a really nice area. So like I said, I'm going to stick this back up on the tripod now and show you some how this looks performance-wise, and then kind of go from there, show you what it looks like in action. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is how much glide you can expect to get from these panels. Now, these panels give about 10 to 15% more friction than regular ice, which is pretty good for a synthetic ice panel. They recommend using a 5/8 skate sharpening. Mine are a little bit sharper than that right now, so I probably won't get quite as much glide as I otherwise could, but it'll still be able to show you what you can expect when you have these in your own setup. So I'm just going to take one stride and let myself glide until I stop. And that's it. So you can see I went almost the entire length of the basement. I'll do one more just to show you coming back. So not bad. Obviously there's a little bit of a learning curve. They are a little bit more sticky than ice, obviously, but the learning curve is very minimal, and you'll be up and running, having fun with these in no time. Another question I had on these was whether or not you could actually do a hockey stop on it. So I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. You can do hockey stops, and it works really well. So let me show you what that looks like. So that's it. Hockey stop's pretty basic. speed. Alright, so that's your Extreme Glide synthetic ice panels in action. As you can see, it's a real workout. I broke out a little bit of a sweat, as you can see, but I wanted to do real drills that you would actually be able to do on the ice and then show you how they translate into these synthetic panels. So as you can see, it's a good translation. They really work well. You can do your stops, starts, agility stuff, all that kind of different drills in your basement or in your garage. Size is going to be a consideration for you. So if the more space you have, the more stuff you're going to be able to do. But as you can see, it's great for even confined space types of drills like I was doing. So anyways, before we sign off, there's a couple of things. This is a little bit of a different product than most of HockeyShot's other stuff. So if you want to pick these up, go to HockeyShot.com. But because it's kind of almost like a custom product, what they want to do is for you to request a quote. They want to be participating in your selection of which types of panels, what sizes, and they'll kind of help you to get some insights on the best possible experience for the space you have available. So like I said, it's a little bit of a more in-depth product, and they want to really make sure that you have the best experience possible. So visit HockeyShot.com and you'll be able to find it there. Also, on the product page, there's a ton of Q&As. There's always, I know I had a few questions on this product myself, and the Q&A section was really helpful. So because of that, I've got my iPad here. I just want to go through a couple of the Q&As that I had, and just point some of these out, and then we'll be done. So the first one is, how long will the Extreme Glide synthetic ice last? The answer for that is, it depends. First of all, it depends on which thickness you get. I've got the 1/2-inch thickness. That's the most popular one. It's kind of there's one that's thinner and one that's thicker. This one's like that sweet spot. So it's good as far as economics goes, and it's good as far as durability goes. So for normal residential use, the 1/2-inch panels will get about 7 to 10 years on each side. So you're thinking like 14 to 20 years worth of usage out of this product. If you're like a commercial facility, you'll probably get 5 to 7 years per each side. So either way, it's a good investment. You'll definitely get a lot of years worth of really good usage for this. My kids actually, since we've got these in the basement, my kids wake up early and they come down for morning skate. They're doing like 2 or 3 skating sessions a day on their own. So my 7-year-old figured out how to tie his own skates because he was so motivated to get down here and practice. That's just a side note, but thought I'd mention it. A few of these were kind of answered just by watching me go through it. But another one, some problems reported by hockey forums regarding synthetic ice is the dust and flakes produced. Does this apply to Extreme Glide synthetic ice? So anytime you've got synthetic ice and you're cutting into the ice, there's going to be dust and flakes that come off the ice. You might have noticed some of that as I was doing the stops and starts and stuff like that. So that's normal, but where these tiles actually shine is the fact that you don't need any greases or any oils or any liquids to spray down. Most synthetic ices do. And so because of that, it's really super easy to vacuum up, or you can sweep it up. I recommend getting one of those brooms, like those dry mop brooms like the high school janitors have. They're going through the hallway in. Pick up one of those. That would be about perfect for my space. It's just, one of those wide dry mop brooms where you can just run a mop or run a broom over it after you're done, and that'll sweep up any of those flakes. So that's really not a big deal. Is it hard to skate on? There's a little bit of an adjustment period. You can probably see it's a little bit more sticky than regular ice, but that's to be expected. But really, the adjustment period's not too bad at all. This was my biggest one. There was 2 actually. One, can these be installed outdoors? And I'm just going to read you their answer for this. Extreme Glide synthetic ice is perfect for outdoors. All you need is a flat, well-maintained surface. Great outdoor areas to install include backyard, patio, or park. For outdoor installations, we recommend covering the surface with a tarp when it's not being used to protect the synthetic ice from the elements. Dirt, dust, pollen, sap from trees, bird droppings, as well as leaves. So if you're going to use it outside, it's awesome for outside, but just cover it when you're not using it. And then the next question that kind of goes with that is it okay in temperatures above and below freezing? And the answer is yes. So they will not degrade in sunlight or warp or deteriorate as temperature increases or decreases. So these are great. Like you can be used in your basement, you can be used in your garage, or if you've got a big space outside and you've got an outdoor rink or want to put an outdoor rink, these could be a really good option for that. They're good with the elements and really, really good product. I'm trying to go through this. There's a whole list of Q&As, but those are the main ones that kind of came to my mind as I was going through these. They can be cut, as you could see in the previous installation video. So just get a table saw or even a skill saw, I think could do it. And that's it. So these are, like I said, I'm really enjoying these. This has been a very useful product for me and for my kids. With my kids, they're, my two oldest are 7 and 4. And so this is actually the perfect area for them to be able to do a lot of different skating drills and stuff like that. So they're having a blast with it, but this is a really good product, and I highly recommend it. So go to HockeyShot.com if you have more questions about it. Feel free to give them a call or request a quote, and they'll get you set up for your Extreme Glide synthetic ice panels.